We understand that not everybody wants to watch a 25-minute video about a poem. So here is a shorter version, bite-sized and in a hurry. You can pause the video to read the poem if you need to refresh your memory. You'd never guess that such a mellow lyrical poem was written by a man celebrated for his wild, sometimes violent affairs. Byron was a tabloid figure in the early 1800s, a beautiful aristocrat who scandalized and thrilled his contemporaries by having many affairs with both men and women and writing about some of them in his poetry. He drank, he fought, he gambled, and wrote fascinating poems about his wild life and also his great suffering. Readers just could not get enough of him, even as they shook their heads over his behavior. He was even rumored to have had an incestuous affair with his married half-sister and to have fathered one of her children. And his scandalous divorce from his wife produced reams of journalism, just as celebrity divorces do today. One of his married lovers, Lady Caroline Lamb, called him mad, bad, and dangerous to know. So what on earth is he doing, writing a beautiful lyrical poem about a woman that is pretty much devoid of scandalous passion? Byron found women soothing, even though he did not respect them. Writing in his journal, he says, "There is something to me very softening in the presence of a woman, some strange influence, even if one is not in love with them, which I cannot account for, having no very high opinion of the sex. But yet I always feel in better humour with myself and everything else if there is a woman within ken." This poem was written about a particular woman that he found soothing, his cousin's wife, Lady Anne Wilmot Horton. When he met her in 1814, they were both aged 26. He met her at a party. She was wearing a black spangled dress, so you can see where he got the image of the cloudless night and the starry skies. And the next morning, he sat down to write the poem. This isn't a poem about a woman inspiring passion. It's about a woman soothing Byron's troubles and passions. I've highlighted some of the words that express that in this poem. For many people, beauty itself is a softening influence. Walking is a soothing movement. Cloudless suggests a mind without cares or worries. Stars twinkle rather than glare and blare. What he admires in this woman is that she takes the extremes of the dark and the bright, the things he can never reconcile, and she mellows them to a tender light, something Byron is unable to do, swinging between extremes of wildness and despair. And words like grace, waves, softly lightens, serenely sweet, dear, so soft, so calm, smiles that win, tints that glow, a mind at peace, love that's innocent. These are all gentle, mellow, tender expressions of feeling and of being. Her mind is at peace with everything on earth. Her love is innocent by contrast to Byron's wild, passionate, guilty, illicit, treacherous, and violent love affairs. Finally, let's look at a few formal issues that you can include when you write an essay to enrich your argument that you've developed by knowing a little bit about the context of this poem. The sounds of the poem are soothing as well as its images and descriptions. The first thing we have is the hypnotic rhythm of iambic tetrameter. This is the meter used for lullabies and magic spells. The poem is filled with long vowels, cloudless climes, and starry skies. These are soothing sounds that open up the space of a short, tight tetrameter poem. We also have sounds that repeat, alliteration and assonance, and this creates fluidity and smoothness in the poem. There are lots of soothing sibilants. Those are S sounds. So we have softly lightens o'er her face where thoughts serenely sweet express. So it's as if he's shushing himself with these soothing sounds. So this is a much shorter video, but if you want a fuller version of this with more details about Byron, more close reading of the poem, more about the context, you can look at our other videos on this channel, which are longer. Thank you for watching, listening, and participating. If you're interested in learning more about what it's like to study English literature and creative writing at university, or one or the other, you can start with our website.